उसको उठाया मैं, तो उसको ऐसा लगा कि वो गिर रहा है, तो अंदर खा भरा दिया मेरे अंदर। हेलो, कौन बोल रहा है? गणेश? दीपक भाई? दीपक भाई 11:30 का कोड कर दो ना। मैम 11:30 का कोड बुक कर दो ना प्लीज़। ओके, 7 या 1 कर देना ना प्लीज़। ओके।
Order filled.
बहुत तेजी से नीचे जा रहा है actually. बहुत तेजी से. हम इसका कुछ नहीं कर सकते. बहुत तेजी से. It is what it is. हम इसका कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Now we have to just wait and watch. है नीचे भी लेवल्स है जहाँ से ऊपर आ सकता है, बट यहाँ से भी जा सकता है. We never know. कितने बजे की तेरी मीटिंग है? 8:30। इसको खिलाने का टाइम हो गया है।
10 बजे खत्म होगी मेरी मीटिंग।
अभी उठा के खिला दूँ उसको, क्या करूँ?
चार मिनट में तो खिला नहीं सकेगा यार।
मेरे क्या काम है?
मैं नहीं हूँ ना।
नहीं, मैं तो दोपहर में भी तो खिलाएगा। दोपहर में ऐसे
खिला दे, फिर अपने वापस खेल के आएंगे ना,
फिर वापस
एक बार फीड कर,
वही
फिर सुबह।
just gonna wait another minute before we get started. Let me compare let's see. Still waiting on a few people, so. I'm sorry. Did you say something, Joshna?
No, I just said, hey everyone.
Okay, good. Hey to you.
Order filled.
Well, we're recording this, and I'm sure we all have a lot to talk about, and I'm expecting that we'll have a number of really good questions. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'll just pop on camera quick and say hello and good day. Thank you so much for your flexibility in attending the meeting. I know it was originally scheduled last week, and I appreciate you being willing to accommodate the schedule change. So we're here today to talk about the collaboration portal, and this is a really, I think, exciting milestone to be at the place where we can have this discussion. You'll notice that the meeting is named a kickoff. This is actually I'll say a belated project kickoff for the collaboration portal. As many of you know and have experienced, the collaboration portal has sort of had an interesting evolution over the last couple of years. We started the collaboration portal. Initially, it was targeted for release for Adept 12, and then we made the decision to instead focus on releasing for Adept 11.x, and then we paused the project for a while to focus on cloud, and then we restarted in earnest probably in mid to late May, June of 2025. So, yeah, Collaboration Portal has wanted to come into being, and now we're finally at that place where I think we can have a really rich and exciting conversation about it. I'm excited, very excited, and I can tell you that our customers are very excited about Collaboration Portal. We're having quite a few conversations actively with customers about Collaboration Portal, and those we're talking to they're not ambivalent about it, meaning they're really engaged and feel like they need it, and are really looking forward to its release. So this is a really fun time. Ideally, we would have had a project kickoff earlier in the project. The flip side of that is, I think there's an enormous amount of work that's been done, and an enormous amount of really good information that exists about the collaboration portal. So I've been thinking about this meeting and its placement in calendar time, kind of like the handoff in a relay race like you might see at the Olympics. When generally the ones I'm thinking about have 4 participants, and on that team somebody will start out and run hard, and they'll come up to the second participant, and the participant, the first runner and the second runner and subsequent runners will run together for a while and hand the baton off. This, in my mind, is a little bit like that. So what we're going to find is that this project kickoff and the actual handover or handoff, which this meeting is not, I guess, strictly speaking, are going to be close together. But the purpose of doing this meeting now is to give everybody time to really dig in. I think we feel collectively, the team, the project leadership feel like we're at a point where there's enough good information where people can really dig in. So our agenda today will be, I'm going to take you through an overview at a high level. Zahan is going to take you through sort of a history of the design, UX, UI overview, design system, and how Collaboration Portal is the leader, if you will, in projects for the design system that the UX teams come up with. I'll orient you where information is, the Confluence, so you can access it. And then Deepak and Prajal will give us a development progress walkthrough. We'll actually see the live project, the code that's actually working, which should be fun. Jacob will provide us with a project progress and status update. And then at the end, I'll talk a little bit about futures, what I envision and what could possibly happen with Collab Portal in the future. As exciting as Release 1 is, it's not intended to be the end of Collaboration Portal's growth and ability to deliver value to our customers. So I'll talk just briefly about that. And then we'll leave plenty of time for questions and follow-on information. So that's what we'll cover today. Any questions at this point in time? Just feel free to chime in. Does everybody feel, if anybody feels like they're not in the right place this morning, let me know, and we can address that certainly. Okay, we'll keep right on going then. I want to share with you where Collaboration Portal Release 1 fits in with our near-term product goals. As you're probably aware, we Synergist just released in mid-December last year, released Adept 11.4, and that was an interesting release on many fronts. It took longer than we had expected, and it ended up being a challenging release. Initially, we thought perhaps end of summer was the goal and the target, and due to some industry changes that we had to respond to, that was not to be. So we're coming off an 11.4 release. We are at the cusp of being able to release Collaboration Portal and Adept Cloud, as you're likely aware. And a contingent of the team have been working on a new SolidWorks integration. The new SolidWorks integration and support for Collaboration Portal will be a part of Adept 11.4.5. So again, we just released 11.4. Upcoming release is 11.4.5, and the scope of 11.4.5 is very narrow. We will only include those capabilities and those features that are absolutely necessary. So we're trying to keep the effort as tight and as lean as possible. And so the primary things that 11.4.5 will address and bring to our customers is the new SolidWorks integration, which our customers have been waiting for now for a couple of years. And again, we'll announce the collaboration. The intent is to announce Collaboration Portal in support for 11.4.5. The products that we have at the cusp of being able to deliver value to customers are really important to the business this year. And it's important that we all, in the ways that each of us can uniquely contribute, that we all focus on getting these products to market. It is really important for the business. So I wanted to place this in sort of in time and in space for you. Ideally, we're able to release these products as early in the year as possible. I don't think that we're going to be able to release, a cloud and 11.4.5 with two predominantly new components necessarily all at once. Certainly not. But you'll hear a regular drumbeat, if you will, a regular sentiment that it's important for us to move through the quality phases and get to release as soon as we're able. I'm simply stating importance. I'm not implying anything else. It's something that we need to remain focused on. And as the first release, it's incredibly exciting. So, the collaboration portal, why? What is it? What is the vision, and why strategically are we working on the collaboration portal and bringing it to market? And I think the simple answer is that it's something that our customers asked us to solve a problem that they are unable to adequately address with Adept alone today in their organizations. So you're familiar with, there are a number of components that are part of the Adept suite. Each of them have their own sort of unique butterfly coloration, and the collaboration portal is this sort of beautiful shades of orange. And I bring this up just because this graphic is important, that you recognize the colors of the butterflies. So we think of our customers use Adept to manage their critical design and engineering information throughout the life cycle. You could picture this life cycle as a circle, as this initial slide showed it. You could also picture it in this particular way, which is a little easier for the illustration. So Adept, the Adept proper, is used in predominantly in a couple of phases in our customers' project lifecycle today. So it's used in design engineering. It's used in sort of feasibility and actual design. It's also used in operation and as-built. It's a little hard to see, but this representation is for operations. So when our customers are operating a manufacturing line or a plant, all of the documents and all of the information that describes machinery and piping and electrical feeds and HVAC, all of these things are used in the actual operation, maintenance, and safety validation of the plants and facilities that our customers use to conduct business, right? So this is, Adept, I'll call it Adept proper, or the main Adept application. Collaboration portal was envisioned to extend the value of Adept proper into other phases of our customer's project life cycle. And this is really important. traditionally these additional phases where collaboration portal can be valuable, are loosely coupled with the work that gets done in the main Adept application. In this particular case, pre-feasibility and design collaboration. A lot of the times in our customer base, this is done by outside firms, contract firms, vendors, and those collaborators don't have direct access to Adept. And so our customers have said, hey, we're collaborating with these customers and we're collaborating on documents that exist in Adept, but when we share them, they're completely separate. There's no thread. After we email them or put them on an FTP site, there's no thread really that connects those documents to our Adept system except by content. And we need them digitally connected. We need to be able to quickly and easily provide these documents to collaborators outside of the firewall, whether it's early in the process or later in the process. So here's another juncture where our owner-operators will provide the documentation that is generated and modified here to actual contractors and people outside the firewall during the construction phase. So that's another place where our customers have directly told us that Collaboration Portal is going to provide them value. Another place, part of the project lifecycle where Collaboration Portal will increase its value over time is at project closeout. So from construction, commissioning, and closeout, the documents that were generated and provided at this phase are now often outside the Adept system. And because those documents are actually the property of our customers, the owner-operators, they need to come back into the Adept system. But for months and months, perhaps even sometimes years, those documents have lived outside the system. And there have been changes because when something is designed in concept, what actually happens at construction site doesn't always match the design, right? Something has to be moved up or down or left or right, and those documents no longer represent what the documents represent when they come back is how the project was actually built versus how it was envisioned. So you can see the Collaboration Portal is really a critical piece in extending the value of the Adept product suite. And that's what you folks have been working on all of these weeks and months, and some of you years if you started a couple of years ago in the initial spin up of the project. Adept Mobile is also an important part of this, and it serves in similar and also different phases of the project lifecycle. And then just to sort of fill out the suite, Adept Integrator is also an important part of the overall capabilities that we offer customers. Now, Adept is used by all of our customers. Mobile is used by some. Collaboration Portal will be used by some. And Integrator is also used by some. These are really critical aspects of the Adept suite that extend the overall value of Adept. So I'm going to trust that, if you have any questions about this, feel free to ask me. I've got another couple of slides that I want to go through, but I felt like it was really important to underscore the value of Collaboration Portal and why it's important and what specifically we're trying to address for our customers. We're trying to make the experience of using Adept seamless in additional really critical phases of all of our customers' project lifecycle. So, as I shared before, when Adept is implemented, some of our customers, a very few of them, expose Adept outside the firewall, but most do not. And that's because it is perceived by IT as requiring additional security considerations. There are always questions about whether that's actually secure and is it advisable to do so. Regardless of the effort that we've put into making Adept 11.x secure, it very often is a question, and IT, it's not a frictionless consideration. You heard me say in our when we were talking about where Collaboration Portal will be critical. Today our customers sort of in their minds and in some sense of reality disconnect documents from their live Adept environment and put them in FTP and Dropbox or send them by email, and that proliferates uncontrolled versions. And invariably, once a document is the digital connection, the thread, so to speak, is lost, there's no control over what happens there, and that central source of the truth is put at risk. Additionally, there's no constant notification or heartbeat of what changes were made, when they were made, by whom they were made. So really that digital connection is lost. And these are the challenges that our customers are trying to address. So what the Collaboration Portal will allow them to do is to quickly and easily facilitate collaboration between internal and external teams. In version 1, and for foreseeable future, but perhaps not always, it integrates Adept and SharePoint for a seamless and friendly solution. All of our customers have SharePoint, or let's say the vast majority of our customers have SharePoint. It's already in use and managed by IT systems, by IT departments, and it's already pre-approved in most cases for external access at our customer sites. So it is a frictionless way for us to connect Adept and SharePoint and have IT allow external access. So it's really an enabling. SharePoint is, it's an enabling technology for us to help our customers quickly and easily connect documents and external teams to what's going on actually inside Adept. Obviously, it gives secure access to non-direct Adept users. Will help our customers ensure that document versions are effectively managed, and it provides notifications to help everyone stay on the same page. All critical aspects of the value of Adept now extended via the Collaboration Portal. So let's look at conceptually at how this system will work. At its heart, Adept Collaboration Portal, I think of it as a piece of middleware that connects and synchronizes Adept with SharePoint, right? It keeps a location in Adept in sync, or provides the tools to keep a location in Adept in sync with SharePoint. I think at this point in time, it's probably good for me to say that at release 1, Adept Collaboration Portal will support Adept 11.4.5. That's the intent. Adept Collaboration Portal in its first release is installed on the Adept web server. So it is a partner application, if you will, and runs as a web service in conjunction with the Adept web server. Another thing that I think is important to state, and you'll see more of this later when Prajal and Deepak show the solution, the actual solution to you. When Adept is installed on the web server, it is a very lean install. There are no configuration points to configure during the installation itself. And this is a mindful decision, and it's different from the installations, the other installations that we have, like the Adept native server and the Adept web server install. Each of those have data points that the user needs to input during the installation. And we wanted the installation to be quick and simple, and as opposed to having information entered such as authorization code or serial number during the collaboration portal install, that actually happens when the first time an authorized user engages the collaboration portal. And we think that's a better model and should simplify. So by way of review, Collab Portal ties Adept and SharePoint together, if you will. It facilitates communication between both systems, and obviously the communication and what Adept Collaboration Portal cares about is very specific. I'm not going to go into that detail now. You'll see it a number of different times in a number of different ways, and it's really well documented thus far. It supports 11.4.5 out of the gate. When it's installed, it's a quick install. It gets installed on the Adept web server. And configuration actually happens not as part of the install, which is different from our current installs, but rather as part of a configuration sequence the first time an authorized Adept user brings up the collaboration portal from inside the web client, and you'll actually see this. So you have questions at this point, many, like what is the connection point inside the Adept user experience, and what is the connection point inside of SharePoint? All will be revealed, but I wanted to give you sort of a high-level overview before we move to the next part of our.
We got to do what to do.
So that's an overview. Why don't we? I'm going to ask you to hold your questions at this point, and I'm going to pass the baton in our relay race today to Zahan, who's going to talk about the UX UI and the design system. Well, I'll stop. You can go ahead, Zahan.
Thanks, Todd. I'll share my screen. You stole a couple of slides from my deck, Todd, but that's okay.
You know, I do that sometimes. Apologies. I figured it was better to ask for forgiveness. A little bit of repetition is not a bad thing, Zahn.
Yeah, sure. All right.
अगर चला कर.
All right. So what I'm going to do today is take you through the history of Collaboration Portal, how we thought about solving multiple problems under Collaboration Portal, especially how to connect with SharePoint site, how to connect Adapt to Collaboration Portal in all of that work. What did we take to the customers? What did the customers say about the first version of it? How did we take the feedback, and how did we iterate our versions of Collaboration Portal? So, as Todd mentioned, this is how I define the surface level problem of why Collaboration Portal even exists today. So, a lot of non-Adapt users wants an easy automated way to access current Adapt documents in the Microsoft 365 tools that they use every day. So these could be contractors, like all of the personas that Todd mentioned could be involved in anywhere in the project life cycle, but that's the crux of why the customer even asked to solve this problem today. Target customer, the talking with customers, we got to know, I mean, we knew that our primary target persona was non-adapt users, the people who are outside of adapt environment and walls. We even found out there were a couple of cases where we would need internal people using adapt to manage all of these documents. So if a file is now adapt and in collaboration portal, an internal manager would be required to manage this file's life cycle when it gets updated in adapt. If the person wants to make a decision that this updated version should go to the external collaborator or not, and so on and so forth. But this was our target persona. We did a lot of interviews with the customer, trying to understand how they actually do it today, and that was a complete mess. Right? Email links, downloading things, sending it by emails. You have no version history or control over any documents that you share. A new version update and adapt, and everything seems to be broken in that. Now, that was a very good use case that one of our customers shared with us while we were in an interview with them. So I think Todd showed this slide, but I think I'll take it a level deeper into how we are making this, how we made certain decisions while building this solution. So adapt collaboration portal in SharePoint site. It stays in the middle, right? Now, what we thought initially is all of these documents which would be shared externally would majorly be for consumption or referencing, right? But once we showed them the first version of collaboration portal, they said that what if a customer or a person or external party wants to edit a file and send back? It could be anything, right? So that, because of that sole reason, a lot of product decisions had to be thought again, and that is where the first sort of feedback happened, and we had to make a lot of changes to how the design worked for collaboration portal. So SharePoint site, I've attached a snippet of how SharePoint sites look like. So on the right side, you see a lot of sites for this specific customer. And this is a dummy screenshot, not a real customer. But I wanted you to take a look at what I specifically mean by SharePoint sites and what are document libraries inside of SharePoint site, because this is going to be important going forward. A site is basically SharePoint site is basically what you see when you open SharePoint site, right? These are grouped high-level folders created by our organization that you can access, and one SharePoint site can have multiple document libraries inside of it. So that's how Microsoft has done with SharePoint sites. That you have SharePoint site on the surface level and then document libraries under it. Now, whenever you see the tagline sites here in collaboration portal, and when you see connecting a site or creating a site, that means that refers to SharePoint sites under Microsoft. So the very first flow of creating or a person would do under collaboration portal would be connecting a site. That means we would find a site for that user or for that org, and the person would make a decision that I want to make use of this site for collaboration portal or for this project. Now, under sites there are portals, and each portal would create a new document library under that specific SharePoint site. Now, there can be multiple portals created under SharePoint site, and each new portal would represent a new document library getting created under the SharePoint site. interestingly, when we this looked very straightforward, but the first hit that we took at it was we didn't have any concept of portals. What we said is, yeah, we'll just help them create a site, and yeah, they can create multiple SharePoint sites. And when we took that to the customer, they said this is completely broken. We cannot create new site. We cannot keep creating new sites. So you need to find a way to create multiple portals or holes under this one site, and have the ability to share this portal with different kind of users that are not part of the same organization. So that's where we had to again restructure this, where a site, we had to create a portal under a site which then reflects a document library. Now, adapt comes into picture when a portal is created. So all of this interaction which the user does happens on collaboration portal. He connects the site, and under a site he can create a portal. When you click on create new portal, it will ask, there is a prerequisite of having a work area specifically for this portal. So that's an extra step that the person needs to be aware of, that I need to have a work area specifically for collaboration under my adapt environment, and connecting that work area to the portal, and then the portal creates a document library. Oh, now because a work area is needed for, at least in the adapt world, to take things out and in of adapt. That's not the only way, but I think when you're brainstorming it, that seemed to be the most efficient way. A lot of brainstorming was happened around this aspect as well, that what if we don't use work areas, is there any way to directly take things inside of adapt? Yeah, so that's a little history behind work area. Now, coming on to the file aspect of it, any file that is in adapt, in a library or in a work or in a file guide or wherever that is, there are three ways of taking that file from adapt and putting that under collaboration portal. One is checking out that file. The second one is making a copy of that file, and the third is a render PDF option. So if a person doesn't want to share the entire drawing with the external collaborator, they can just render a PDF and send it to them. Now, a lot of confusion was happened around when I draw this arrow here from collaboration portal to SharePoint. There was this confusion of, is collaboration portal then making a copy of that file and then sending it to SharePoint site? But that is not the case. Whenever you, whatever the way is, check out, copy, or render PDF, this file is now uploaded to the collaboration portal. But what you see on the collaboration portal is actually a mirror of SharePoint site. And what do I mean by that? So if I go ahead in the SharePoint site in a specific library where the portal was connected, and if I tap on create a new folder and I name it test, you would see that reflect on the collaboration portal as well, because it's a mirror. There is no extra step of then taking that file and making a copy of that under SharePoint site. Sorry, I just wanted that to be clear, because when we presented this to customers, this was a concerning point. And this enabled us to a very important part which Todd shared, is notifications. So at least in my head, when I was talking to customers, I see three valuable features come out on the top, which is notifications, how we manage and how we manage synchronization across these three things, like how do we manage versions, and the third was searching. Yeah. So I'll take you to the notification. So any file that has came from adapt would get updates from adapt. So for example, if content.doc was uploaded from adapt to a specific portal, and an update happened on that file after uploading to the portal, you would receive a notification as a user, so that the user understands that, hey, I have a new update from Adapt, and on this file, do I need to tell to the customer or tell to the external party who is making use of it, or whatever, right? So this is what streamlining the experience of documents mean, and that was one of the biggest problems that we solved. That once you have an update, you are notified that you have an update. There is no broken communication between parties, and you as a manager need to make a decision if that update goes into SharePoint site or to your external collaborator or not. So I'll share a different thing here. So this is a glimpse of how the user would even see if there is an update, where's the update from, and so on and so forth. So this is piping layout.dgm, right? The file upload action was checkout, and you can see we have an updated from column here, and it says SharePoint site. That means you have an update from SharePoint site. So this is the case where the person on the SharePoint site front made an update on the file, and then you are receiving it. You are receiving a notification as a manager that, hey, there is an update on this file. Right. Okay. In this case, the update was from Adapt. So somebody in Adapt made an edit on this document or on this drawing, and said that, yeah, I'm done. You as a manager gets a notification here that, hey, piping layout.dgn has now a new update, as I showed you there. And what you can do is simply choose update portal. That means I'm accepting the updates here as a manager, and I want my external collaborator to see these updates. So it says proceed, and then you proceed, and then it updates the piping layout file in SharePoint site. Sync was another interesting feature that we developed, and this was very later in the process. We never thought about searching in general, but eventually we found a use case for search, and I'm sure a lot of audience here, a lot of people here would have heard the term Google-licious search from a lot of people inside of org, right? And this is the hint of how Google-licious search could work eventually for other products of Adapt as well. So on the top you see we have the search for documents, portal, and people. You as a user don't need to specify what you're searching for. The system is smart enough to guess what you're looking for. So you see a list of recents what you would have searched for whenever you tap the search bar. So it's always interactive. You saving clicks. The user typed 10, right? So it would show you 10frame.dgm, which is a file inside a portal for Hansen. 10fold space, which is a portal. Tenzora is another portal, and there are two other people which have the initials as 10. You as a user can select any one of them, and it will take you to that specific thing. If it's a file, it will take you to file. If it's a profile that you want to do something about, it will take you to the profile page. And if it's a portal, then if you want to make changes to the permissions or anything, it will take you to that. If you press enter, it shows you all the results that are there for your 10 keyword, and you can choose what you want to choose as a user. So that's for search. This is very powerful in many ways. You are saving a lot of clicks of users, and there are plans to bring this kind of search in Adapt adapt as well. And I'm not going to talk about all the features that small and big, but here's a list of almost all of it. I think Prajal and Deepak would be presenting their work in development, and I think a lot of it would get covered there. Now you would have seen a new system in place for the design system for the collaboration portal. You see a lot of new buttons, new components all around the product, and that's not just limited for collaboration portal. The plan is to build a brand new Synergist design system which will be used across all of the Synergist projects. Now we have been, Todd and I talk about this a lot, right? That we have been listening from a customer that our design looks old, our design doesn't look modern, it's not thought through, it's not intuitive, and all of that jazz, right? This is a beginning of how we take a small step towards modern design in the SaaS world. B2B products in general doesn't have good design, but I think it's changing rapidly today, and customers are demanding good design in product that are intuitive, so they don't spend time training their employees how to use a product. So that's just about the brand new Synergist design system. A lot of work has already been done for the design system. It's just a matter of how do we implement it across our product suite. Yeah, that was it. Do we want to open up for questions, Todd?
Yeah, I'm sure. Why don't we take some questions and then we'll mush on. If anybody has any questions at this point. Okay, then we'll keep moving. I'm going to take less than 5 minutes and just show you where to access resources in Confluence. Talk a little bit about how they're tied into the Jira tickets, and then Deepak and Prajal will give you a little demo of what's working. Let's do this. Okay. So I will send you these links, but in reality, you all have access here and can self-serve, immediately as soon as you want to. This is the collaboration portal space inside Confluence. We're just looking at the sort of project statement of work, if you will. And I encourage you, if you're not already familiar, please take the opportunity to sort of read up on it. There's a lot of really good information here, some of which we've certainly covered today, but we should or could answer a lot of questions that you may have. I also want to take a look at a couple of stories, the way they're laid out in Confluence. Each of the links inside of Jira should reflect back to the Confluence page. I was told, although I didn't check them all myself, fair warned, I was told that they were up to date. So I think this represents a really good collaboration on the stories. I think this is, it's really a good job. So there should be a lot of really rich information here for everybody to understand the intent, and it should what you see should actually be very close to the way it appears in code. These are all Figma models, but I want to shout out to the team for really keeping excellent documentation about these stories. I think it's a great model of what we can do moving forward. Here's searching. Should be able to quickly get a tremendous amount of context about what the intent is. We'll talk about project goals, and if we have time, I'll touch on the future of Collaboration Portal. But I think in the interest of time, I want to turn the baton over to Deepak and Prajal for a real world overview of the working Collaboration Portal.
Order filled.
Deepak, can you please share your screen? So this is the landing page of the Collab portal. So can you please go to the website, and where there is a button of the Collab portal, and we can able to redirect to the Collab landing page. When we click on it, it's redirecting, and it's using the added credential to log in, so we do not require any additional login page. And we can create a site in the menu. You can add a site, so it will give the drop down. So this all the sites from the SharePoint. If you create any new sites in the SharePoint, it will automatically get the data from the SharePoint site, and you can use that. We can create, so it's linked between the SharePoint site and SharePoint. So which site we need to create a document library, we can create the portal. So actually this is the work area from the Adapt side, and creating the document library in the SharePoint automatically. So only shared work area will be included in that portal site. So we make sure our work area is shared, so we can get in this list, and once we create, it will create a document library in the SharePoint file. So we do not need to create any additional document library on the SharePoint side. Here we can use external user. We can use any email address, and we can add, and the user receives the mail. So we are working on that part in a month, but yeah. So here there is also we can add the internal user if user have a proper email address in the portal. So we have Adam, is the number of portal users. So we can create as a manager also. There is a two role. One is a collaborator, and second one is a manager. So manager have access for delete the portal and host the portal. So collaborator just only do the file download, and that's it. Upload the file. So this is the two major role in this Collab portal. Yeah, Deepak, you can navigate to the Adapt screen, and yeah, just try to save the file. So yeah, you can select any file, and there is a upload to portal button. When we click over there, it
select which portal we need to send this file, and it's a drop down, so we can select what we require, like copy, PDF, or checked out. We can upload this file. So it's directly upload this file to the SharePoint. If the file is already exists, it will ask you for, do you want to override or not. So just navigate to the SharePoint site, and you can see that in that particular document library, the file is uploaded. And so it will directly reflect on the SharePoint side and some internet. So, yeah, you can see this Poco side, and then also the file is uploaded before coming. So this is recently uploaded file. So we just go back to the collab. So we can see the exact replica inside this Poco site. Just click on this Poco site, and here is the count and number which are added in this Poco site. So if we are creating a folder or file in this SharePoint, it will be like so both are the same. And also we can check see this uploaded and like it's checked out or it's copied. Also we can upload a file from the local. There is an option for rename file, copy file, move file inside the Collab portal. Just click on the three dots. You can see like we need to move this file into the different folder, or we need to delete this file. So we can delete this file or just move. Okay. But there is no folder, so we are not able to. Just create a new folder and try to move this one. Try to move this file into
इधर था ना पिकल
and move the SharePoint. So that folder is
Huh?
automatically created in the
Oh,
SharePoint
खाने
site. It needs to be so the file is moved, but I think some data issue. We need to check that. But file is moved into that folder.
एक आध डेढ़ महीना खिलाना पड़ेगा इसको ऐसे ही
It's removed from the list. I think refresh one is not working properly. Can you just delete one time? So we can check for them.
क्या फिर आता है बे
Delete the file. So this file is deleted from the SharePoint also. So it's an exact replica of that SharePoint document library. We are just maintaining the data in the Poco site. Also, we are go for the search. As Jihan and Jihan mentioned that we are able to search, like we need to search for the people or the file. We can see all the regions as well, and individual for the files and folders also. its history managed automatically. Last search will be reflected in this recent search.
जल्दी नहीं दिया
I think inside folder is not able to serve. Just search for the outside folder file. Yeah. Still fine. So yeah, we can see all the details in this screen. Okay. We can see the notification section on top. So the file is changed. We get the notification. We can make unread as well and see like 2 minutes ago and 6 minutes ago. So we can see the time as well. And open the setting page. We left the setting page. When we are first time landing on the Colab portal, we need to set up one time. All these details are filled up, like we have authentication key, serial number, where we are using the Adobe URL. Also the database detail is also managed from the front end. And the SharePoint details, so we know where we need to connect with. So, yeah. Yeah, you can pause this portal. So if we do not need to use this portal anymore, so we can pause temporarily. If we use after a year or we do not require, we can restore this portal, which is we are not able to find it in this search. If we pause this, so after completing a work, we can pause this portal, and there is a separate section for this. So yeah, all the portals are there. We can also active. And after deleting, it will remove the SharePoint data and remove the portal from this list. Yeah, we can delete it. Yeah, click on the delete. So it's also mentioned that the file is checked out. Do you want to complete or check it back into the portal, or just download all the files in the portal, and we can continue with the deleting. So we can download, and it's in your download folder. We can check. So it's removed from this list. I think almost it's covered almost most of the things. Right. Any question?
Doesn't seem so yet. Good, thank you. Thank you both. Appreciate that. There's a lot running, it's pretty exciting. Jacob, next on the agenda is for you to talk about the progress and the status. So, Deepak, there you go. Yeah.
And on that note, as everybody kind of sees, I've been stumbling around with some of the code there. To emphasize, we aren't considered dev complete, and I don't know if I miss this note. This isn't kind of maybe the traditional QA handover. Like dev feels like we're essentially complete and ready for QA to begin testing. And as Todd showed a lot of the user stories and a bunch of the upfront documentation that's happened, the intent here was to kind of show where we're at and give QA a chance to digest all this information, especially not just being kind of a new feature, but a whole new product. So they had a chance to kind of jumpstart, because, going to our timeline, our dev complete goal is the end of this month. So as you've seen, a high majority of stuff is done, but obviously not quite polished, call it that. As far as, remaining work, I think it's about 20 specific items, and then one of them, let's see, about 17 backlog tasks and 6 in progress. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're planning to be mostly done in the next couple of weeks, and our intent, and I put this out there just so you QAs aware, is I'm hoping to have the last week or two be a portion where the devs go through and test this sort of a start to finish product. I think so. The 2 big items still outstanding are pieces to do with the installer, and that's going to be designed so that when you run the installation, rather than some of our other products where you have to kind of answer a bunch of questions getting started during the installation, it'll essentially be just where do you want to install this, which is going to be side by side with the Synergist web app, web API, and IIS. So I don't even know if that's a question, to be honest. So things like where the database is going to point, things about adept information, license keys. The goal was to have that be something that as soon as you try to launch it, and if it detects nothing's been set up, it's going to take you right into a config page that will have you set that information up, make sure it's validated, and then do all the background work to initialize the database and everything else so that then you're off and running. So that piece is the last piece that I think Dev is wrapping up, along with, this is where forgive me, this was some stuff Chris put together at the end, maybe 3-4 weeks ago at best. So I did not completely familiarize myself with it. 871, or I thought it was 971.
870.
Is it 870?
Yeah.
So it's this epic of a lot of scenarios to do with some of these different expected behavior. Chris really spent a lot of good time detailing out so that Dev and QA will have a really clear idea of what the intent, what the goal is, and what's to be tested. But that is the last piece. I think that there's a number of tasks based on that we're wrapping up, and then like I said, like the post install configuration setup and screens. That's about it, right? So this is still our goal for the timeline in end of the month. We'll call it a code freeze a few weeks after that. But of course, that will, block aside from blocking bugs. So hopefully, we'll get a chance to kind of polish that up and then see where QA lands in there. I don't know if Steve's really got a realistic right? We're just handing this off, so I don't think there's been a solid estimate of how long it's going to take.
I would not have that bullet point there.
Right, this wasn't me. I think that's about it I have for sort of the state of the thing. So we're in kind of a wrap up, polish up, and a couple of the setup pieces being finished off.
Great.
Any questions there?
Yo,
So Morgan is not
10 बजे
the
खत्म है
client.
अभी यहाँ मेरा काम नहीं है यहाँ खाना चालू करना है
हाँ तो हम लोग बोल रहा ना
बोल दो
No, it's still a web client, right?
Okay.
If you're not authenticated, it'll work